Well, hi there. As I'm fiddling with everything, as you know, that's what happens. I am Andrea Goeglein. This is the 2025 Ageless Edge Unicorn Challenge, Big Goal Unicorn Challenge. Today is the 5th session that we're having. And I invite people to come on these live twice a month. That will end in June. And hopefully you will have your button gear by then. As of right now, I don't believe anyone will be joining us. However, I will take you through the setup for month 3 so that you can build on to what you should be doing in order to help expand yourself from your just everyday goals, list keeping. If you want things to move forward, you actually have to do something different than you've done before. And this is a process using all sorts of different books. And the book that month 3 focuses on, in addition to my Don't Die Waiting to Be Brave, which is basically just 4 little questions that keep having you ask yourself, how am I holding myself back? Whether or not it's that you need to change a perspective, or whether or not you're making an excuse, or whether you're telling some story about how you should have had something happen. There's all of these ways that just very subtly we hold ourselves back from planning bigger goals. Now, I realize that I have an acronym for a goal that I have held for 10 years and have yet to manifest, create, which means I do it, but does it make me money? And I'm going to be very clear. Business makes money. That's what a healthy business does. Now, I haven't changed my goal, but in this challenge for myself, I am focusing very tightly on one aspect to make that come alive differently than I have before. I'm not going to tell you. My goals aren't going to help you one little bit. That's my goal. You got to figure out yours. But I keep it that much in my sight every day. And then I ask the question, does it still matter to me? Do you know, in the 10 years since I've set that goal, it matters. And it matters more every day. It matters more every time I have a failure associated with it, which means something that I wanted to have come together doesn't. So in that moment, it feels like a failure. Now, you go to my website, servingsuccess.com. You sign up for this challenge, which is different than the 60-day challenge that I've had up with the workbook, which has videos to it. This is, organic, and each month it's building. I've got to go and get the book that I want you to focus on. Oh, it was that kind of Wednesday. My book, which you get actually as the free download. And I live that little statement that if you don't do the free stuff, my fee is not the problem. But it is this book that I'm really loving. One, because I love this author's work. She has consistently put out material that has science-backed exercises in a very usable form. All of the books I recommend do that, but this is really great. And the thing that's really cool about this, when you get your little worksheet, you will see that there is a grit test. You go to Angela Duckworth's site. You take the grit survey. That gives you a free measurement of where you stand right now in your own natural resilience. Because one of the things it takes to make bigger goals, especially if you have not achieved what you want, pay attention to that, especially if you have not achieved. Success makes it easy for you to just keep going. It is a lot harder when You don't achieve a goal that you set, to regroup and push forward, and to do it and even enlarge the goal. So the grit test is free. You'll get a baseline of where you are. Then I want you to pay attention to chapter 9 of this book, because Carolyn does a different take on grit than Angela, who is the founding researcher. And it is an important expansion of what grit is. And what you're looking for is your ability to relate and see in yourself what may be holding you back. If you notice from day one of this work, it has been about what you need to do differently, how your mindset needs to be different so that you can achieve what you want. I ain't nobody's mother except one little girl, and she's doing just fine. And so it is really you having a conversation with yourself using some really great material in order to help push you. Now, I have, in case you don't have the book and you don't want to get it through the Libby app for free and put it on your Kindle so that you can review it. Those are all free ways of doing this. I have actually, on the exercises, given you some barriers, questions and prompts for you to write on. They come out of Carolyn's work. And they're prompts to help you like have a little conversation with yourself. Like, how am I holding myself back? Like, what lesson can I take from the obstacle? Like I could tell you barriers of entry. I can tell you the I'm too old story. I could tell you 1,000 different stories about why that hasn't come to life for me. Not, it's not relevant. What is relevant for me to understand, what have I learned from the mental, especially the mindset blocks that I've put in my way? What have you learned from that voice in your head that is not helping you? So you will get on this downloadable sheet actual prompts for you to be able to work through as you're thinking of the goal. And by this time, you should have a stretch goal, a bigger goal for this year that helps push everything from your mindset to your ability to be resilient forward just a little bit more. And then start keeping track of yourself. Like on a daily basis, check in. Did I do something today? And I'll give you an example. One of the things to help my goal is that I have got to post more. Now, I have got 15 years of material in video on YouTube. There is now a tool called Opus, and I bought, thanks to my friend Andrew, I bought the pro version. I am now making shorts out of the material. I have set a goal to do that every day. That's really like a task to reach my bigger goal. I have not been doing it every day. I had a hard time getting on here at 5 o'clock today. It happens. But every day it's on my list. And so I succeed at it more days. And I check myself as to like, why didn't I do it yesterday? Then the challenge for the next 21 days, so this month of March and month 3, is really to focus on your resilience. You'll have the grit survey for free. You'll be checking in on yourself. Like, what do I need to do? Now, I have got to say, where we are in the universe at this moment, if you're a person who follows the stars, oh, they're telling us the world's going to end. If you follow the news, they're telling us the world is going to end. If you're following the stock market, it seems like it's going to end. Resilience is a really handy tool about now. And your ability to become more resilient when things are not going well is actually a pretty natural trait. So Look at the craziness, March Madness. Look at March Madness as truly your tool in order to up your resilience game. Now, the second set, which I have got to tell you, from month one, use AI every day. If for no other reason, it's getting less and less accurate every single day. And the more you use it, the more you will see how you have to be accountable when you are using it. I honestly use it every single day, and not because it's now integrating into everything. I mean, I have it do specific tasks for me every single day relative to my work or my life. And what I had a post in the last few weeks, and I may have said this in the last video. I can't remember if it had happened then. I needed specific data that I couldn't remember from the 1980s. And I had a rough enough idea of what I needed. It spit out the worst information. And when I corrected it, it was like, oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Again, I did a post yesterday about 6 iconic women in Nevada from a magazine cover in 2000. I knew a few of their backgrounds very well, but some of them I didn't know. It was amazing, the errors that that chat was spitting out. However, I am getting comfortable with asking questions. I am getting comfortable in seeing, or I'm getting kind of frustrated when I can't think of the right question to ask it in order to correct. But I am seeing how the tool impacts my work on a daily basis. That's critical for you to do in your work today and whatever it is you are building. So for me, I am trying to see how with that goal, like I'm getting very used to doing it in the stuff I do right now, but what is it going to look like in the bigger goal that I'm working towards? And that is the third part. I can't do a video without my cat showing up. There is just no hope. That's the important part, because the more comfortable you become, the more comfortable you will be with all of the sea of changes. I really dislike those words. We all know that it's a whole lot more like an ocean of floods, or icebergs melting all around us when it comes to the impact of what this work will do. And so you're working with your own resilience, your mindset. You're working with conversations with yourself on a daily basis on how to overcome, all against the new bigger goal you are stretching yourself for. Because if you use AI to guess for you the future of what it is you're in essence, I'm calling AI the doubting uncle. So you say you want to, create a video game that will translate across all cultures and help build democracy. I mean, I did make that up, like as I was talking, but that's how game developers begin. And yet you have the tool in AI of how do you integrate all of those? What am I not thinking of? What games already exist that have these qualities in it? I know that I, for a fact, wish that a lot of app developers would use AI to just ask the question, how many other apps already do this? Because I really don't need another something. And so use AI against your own bigger goal to ask the questions, where are the barriers? How do I get around this obstacle? Like sometimes it is just too darn hard to have a conversation with yourself about the fact you have the obstacle and then figure out how to get around it. AI may be a flawed voice, but it is somewhat of a neutral voice, and it will help you see the potential next steps that you can take. So for now, I will leave you there. You will have the free download. You have the free grit test that you can take. From there, and I've got a lot of cat hair that floats around, a mama's got to do what a mama's got to do. You'll have enough to work with until we meet again at the end of the month. I may step on and help you think through or push you, but know that the comments and/or direct messaging me will get you my attention, assuming you are respectful. So I am Andrea Goeglein. The website you need to go to get all this free stuff is serving, servingsuccess.com. And there will be a drop down and it will show you where to sign up to get everything that you need. And I do hope that at some point in this process, you decide to join me on these calls and we work through the challenges or celebrate the successes that you're having in the process. And don't forget, my friends, at teachforamericavegas.org. Thank you. Boom.